face. How are you all doing? And if you've got any questions, please feel free to pop it in the comment section below. And have a bit of a chat. You know, the whole idea of our shares is to talk about business growth. How do you grow your business? And obviously how outsourcing is able to complement that part of that growth in your business as well. Being that we're about property, if you've got any property questions, how to acquire property, you know, how to do research for that, that's something that our team readily help with, and more than happy to furnish any questions around that as well. But what I want to go through today is the question around what does your business need? And why we're asking this question is because as business owners, particularly when we go through stages of challenges and stress, you know, i.e. COVID-19, we sometimes go into this mode of panic, for want of a better word. All right. And what happens is that we go from panic and crisis where we're trying to fix things immediately. I've done this before. I know very many people have. So we might look at, okay, great. All right. Cash flow has been affected. What do we do now? I'm going to make a new product, or I'm going to service a client that I would not necessarily service, but I just want the income to come in. And I know it's going to be a lot of work, but I just need the income now. And so, you know, and that's not neither, it's not wrong or anything, you know, you're obviously trying to bolster and keep your head afloat. But it is, if you look at it, it's putting us in a cycle of survival mode, for want of a better word. And it really hinders us from being able to see some clarity in where we're going. So where we want to be able to go, and I'll share with you a slide in a second, where we want to be able to go from crisis and panic mode into clarity mode. So give me a second. And where we have a bit of vision around what we're doing here. So effectively, this comes out of the Fix This Next program, which we will be in the next few weeks and months rolling out to our clients about how do we go about identifying what our business, you know, our core business needs are, and where we are on our sort of journey, and what it is that we need to be able to fix next. So give me 1 second. I'm going to share this, share my page, and here's a bit of a snippet from the Fix This Next workbook. And we talk about the survival trap, being that 50% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. And why is that the case? Because a large proportion of them don't get to the level of profitability. And the reason for that as well is because we fail to set strong foundations from the very beginning. I'm going to move my Facebook out of here so I can see if there are any comments that come through. Hey Peter, how are you doing? Good morning. I hope you're well. So we're talking about this point A, where a lot of us, when we're hit with challenges, we get to this point of crisis. And I talked about how we do all sorts of different things to get, we run a last minute promotion to generate quick cash. And this part of the do it yourself, because no one else can do it as well as you, and you're saving money. That is one thing I have to say I've done before, where I just went, it might be, I can't quite say what it is, but I decided to do it myself instead of delegating or outsourcing it, because it was going to save me money in the short term. But it actually meant that it was taking me away from being able to focus on the core parts of my business, which was effectively, speaking with clients, strategizing for the growth of the business. So that's the parts that were making money. Whereas I was, I would immerse myself in, say, putting together a presentation because I didn't think that anyone could do it, and it would save me money. So we've all, many of us have been in that crisis mode, and I'd say a large portion of people during the past few months have probably been in that state. But what we want to be able to do is, and what YPBA strategizes with our clients to do is, is how we can go from that point A of crisis to point B of having that clear level of vision. And to do that is, we look at this, what we call the business hierarchy of needs. And what is the business hierarchy of needs? It's really based on the concept of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you're familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's the core things that every human being needs to live, really, and that is, your physiological, like your air and your water, and you need sleep as well. Apparently, you need sex, and then safety, to feel safe in your environment, to have good health, and then the next part of that is that idea of belongingness. So, where you feel that you're part of a community, and we are creatures of, they say that humans are, what's the word? We're sort of like pack animals. Many of us, most of us, feel more that sense of belongingness really, really helps bring us together. And that's why we know so many of us put such a huge amount of value on family and friendship and community, being part of the community, or being able to contribute to the community. The next part of your hierarchy of needs is self-esteem. What is your self-worth? That is there a level, do you feel that you've achieved things in your life? And this is where you find where, if you, and then obviously self-actualization, which is that sense of being able to then give back, and be who you are. And so you'll find, in first world countries, we're very, very fortunate that the physiological side of things for most people, we've got that there. Say in Australia, we're very, very, very lucky. We're very fortunate to have access to abundance of food, abundance of water, depending on whether you've got drought. And we've been through that where when any of this is threatened, it affects a lot of the other parts of where we are. And in the same notion, this is how we apply this to business, is your business also has a hierarchy of needs. And so what is that? And what I'm going to do over the next few weeks is to really dissect each of these levels. And I'll just go through this for this week. It's really going to go through what is your business hierarchy of needs? And have you ever thought of your business as almost a pyramid, where you need to be able to establish the core foundations of what keeps it up before you even go to the next level and the next level and the next level? So the first level is sales. It's the creation of cash, which provides the foundations for your business to be able to grow. The next level is then looking, and it's only once you get to that point where you're covering your costs, where you are living, and it's addressing the level of life, what they call life congruence. If you're wanting to live a certain level of lifestyle and there's a cost behind that, what do you need to be able to take out of your business to be able to satisfy that? What do you need to generate in terms of leads and sales on a monthly basis to be able to cover all your costs? And so that's the creation of cash, and understanding, well, if I need to create cash, that means I need to create business and work. And that, if I need to create work for my business, how many leads, this talks about attracting clients, that we go through, how are you going about attracting your clients? And there's a few things that we go through there to be able to tick off before you move up to level 2. So this is almost like, we should almost gamify this, don't you think? Let me have a look Any particular questions here? Oh, yes, that's right. Laying strong foundations is so important. That's right. Hi, David. David, how are you doing? Good morning to you. I hope you're not playing with any snakes again this morning. And then in the next part, it's when you've laid down those strong foundations for the sales side of things, and you've created a good level of cash flow. And that's where a lot of small businesses fall, is the cash flow. So to be able to get to profitability gets a little bit tricky. So we will give you some tools to be able to basically grow that cash flow. Next is profitability, which is the creation of stability, right? We talk about, and we implement the, I was going to say the program Profit First. If you're not familiar with Profit First, look it up. It's also a book that's written by Mike Mikulskiewicz, which I can never say his name, so I do apologize. It's the Asian tongue, I think. But he's written some excellent books, and Fix This Next is another one of his certifications. Profit First basically is based on the premise that in every business, you should take profit first. You should always have a level of profit in everything that you do, no matter how small it might be. And so if you break it up into, say, 100%, and each fortnight or each month, depending on how often you do your cash flow, and you're paying out your bills, you should look at putting a number around your operational expenses, your tax, owner's pay, and profit. But the first thing that you need to allocate each time that you're paying out is profit first, even if it means it's 1%. And an owner's pay, we tend to not pay ourselves very much at all. That needs to be the second thing that you need to do. Again, as small as it is, pay yourself something. And what you want to be able to do is go from here, A, to B, which is, and it's going to be a incremental process. It could be that you only allocate 1% this month, but then as your cash flow increases, you're going to allocate 2%. And then as it increases, it'll be 5%. And then those numbers are going to change as is. Again, have a look at Profit First if you haven't already. And you can even just Google, Profit First allocations to be able to give you an idea of how you allocate those your income into your business. It's only when we hit the second level, then we move out to level 3 of Jumanji, right? It feels like we're at level 7 of Jumanji. And have you seen those memes there? They talk about how 2020 has been going through sort of like an obstacle course. But this isn't, it is, at the end of the day, business is a little bit like an obstacle course where you're trying to navigate what it is that you need to avoid or need to work on to be able to get to where you want to be. And that sort of top bit is where you're heading towards. So once you've hit profitability and you've created some stable foundations there, then you go to the level of order. And what does order mean is your systems and processes and how you're creating efficiency in your business. So the main thing around here, and this is, it shouldn't be done after you've done all this. Order, when you're creating systems and processes, it should definitely be something that you're doing throughout the life of your business and in every way. And this is where having someone else apart from yourself really helps, because you can be the person that's doing the task or the function or the project, where you have someone else, whether it's your your VA or someone else in your business, that helps you create those systems around it. Because what you want to be able to do is have those systems in place so that whenever, you're not relying on that one person to be able to execute it. You got one point of weakness there. If you have only one person who knows how to do something, it really hinders your growth and scalability. But then it's also the huge risk factor. If that person leaves, you're a goner. If you leave, what happens? What if you want to go on a holiday? And that's where the creation of efficiency through systems and processes comes into play. So that it allows, so once we've done all these three, and to a large extent, you need to constantly go through and evaluate where you are in your business. That's when you are able to then move up to the next level where, what we call the first three levels are basically you're looking to get things so that you can, I've got this imagery. I'm a very, very sort of tactile person. You'll get, so this, in sales, profit, and order, you're getting things from the outside where you're needing help, or you're getting clients and everything else. The next two parts, which is where a lot of business owners want to be, is to be able to impact. And that's definitely what, my reason for going into business is to impact as many people as possible. How can you create impact, not just to your own business and the people in your business, but outside? So how do you keep creation of transformation and being able to be the visionary in your business before you get to the next level where you can create permanence? And that permanence can be in terms of how you're contributing to society, how you're giving back to charitable organizations, and that legacy and sustainability in your business, so that it gets to a point where you can step away from it without the fear of it spiraling out of control. And that's the thing we need to think of from the very beginning, is what is my exit plan from the beginning? And I'm not saying that you exit and you're off and you're leaving your team to do all the work. No, it's what allows you to keep working, but choosing to live life on your own terms. And we speak to so many business owners, and it all comes down to, what is it that is your ultimate goal? Is really the freedom to choose whatever they want to do, the freedom to live life on their own terms. And if that means working and creating value through what the services and products that you're offering, Mommy, that's fantastic. Oh, I've got a little guest here. Got me a car. You've got a purple car. Thank you. And so you can allow yourself to have like these situations where, if you want to spend time with your children, it allows you to, because you've got systems and processes in place, and the people in your team know what you're meant to do. So what I really like to do, I'm really excited, is over the next few weeks is to dissect each of these sections for business owners. And for next week, we'll look at sales. Like, then we ask the question around how do we create a good level of lead generation, and how do we create and attract clients consistently into my business to establish this level of sales. If you've got any questions, and what's going to be really good, I've put into on top of the comments the link to the Fix This Next evaluation. So if you want to evaluate where your business is at, click on that. I love questionnaires. I'm always thinking I love questionnaires because I'm always right. Because I'm like, oh, this is me. I know what I want. Run the evaluation, and it'll give you an idea where you are on this business hierarchy of needs. And if you want to have a chat after it, you'll get sent the evaluation results, and I can go and check on in that as well. And if you'd like to then have a strategy session around how do we address this, let's hop onto that as well. But it's really handy. It really gives you an idea of where you are in your business and what needs to be fixed next. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys. Hold on, I'll stop sharing my page so I can see everyone. Stop sharing. This is technology here. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Oh, looks like I can't do it. No. Hide thumbnail. I'll see you all next week, and we'll go through the sales side of things. Again, if you have any questions in particular, pop it down in the comments below and I can answer it at any time. Have a great day. Hope everyone is well. and you're getting a little bit of sun now, that sort of restrictions are easing up a bit, but please stay safe and don't forget social distancing. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.